Welcome to Real Inside Sales Talk, Episode 4, with Mark and Jason.
Hello, folks. How are you today? Mark, how are you? I'm Jason.
Man, I'm just trying not to jump through the roof with excitement, as usual.
I know. Why are we excited today, Mark?
I'm ADD. I was talking with my boss today, David. He's my lead listing agent, super cool guy.
Right.
And I was eating some cashew chicken at the lunch table, and we were talking about all sorts of different subjects about space and natural disasters, and I just kept jumping from topic to topic. And he's like,
Why don't you do that?
"Oh my gosh, you're ADD." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, I'm interested in 1,000 different things, man. I don't say you're ADD. You've got a lot of interests. They're wide variety. You got to be quick to keep up with us, folks.
And that's when you're doing sales. You got to be quick and be on your toes and just ready to. You don't need to think about it. You just do it. You're like Neo from the Matrix. You just start doing it.
It's a reflex.
Smith is throwing punches and kicks as you're just like. Pop, pop, pop,
so if you folks have been paying attention, this is our fourth. We're on our fourth episode.
Fourth episode. We made it this far.
Exactly. So we've got a lot on slate for you guys. We've got episode 1, 2, and 3 up available on YouTube right now. Pretty soon, everything's going to be available on iTunes and Stitcher, so you can subscribe to it and listen to it from your favorite podcast application that you use. And I'm excited about that. We're on Real ISA at Facebook.com. Pretty soon, we're going to have a website. Chime in there on our page, post some comments, questions, anything about sales technique, marketing, advertising, growing your business. We're here to help, aren't we, Mark?
Absolutely. This is what we love to talk about. This is why Jason and I get together. You know, before we started this show, we just started talking about sales and objections and how to do things better. And both of us were like Data from Star Trek, and we just couldn't shut up. And next thing you know, we have a microphone, and we can't stop. Right. So
and that's just it, Mark. I mean, we've been able to learn from mistakes. We've been able to experience quite a few things. We've made a transition in mindset. We're wanting to accomplish a few goals, and we're accomplishing those. And it's time that we build on what we've accomplished. And that's exactly what this podcast is all about: is to help you accomplish those goals up there quicker than you might have, thought possible. But any change in mindset to our positive one, shedding the, toxic baggage, shedding that negativity. Last episode, post 3, was it? No, 2. We talked about Mary Kay.
Yes.
Mary Kay was
positivity.
Yeah, she said negativity was like the biggest polluter out there. So keep the negativity away from you.
He laughed all the way to the bank.
All the way to the bank. Zig Ziglar worked for Mary Kay for a while.
I heard that wasn't his real name. What was his real name?
Really? Do you really know what his real name is? Yeah, I did. Take a guess. Anybody out there know it? We'll answer at the end of the episode, because if you know Zig Ziglar and you know what his real name is, you find the, let's say, I don't want to say similarity to iron. That's really not it, but kind of the similar.
Kind of appalling?
Yeah. Anyway.
It does involve emails.
Yeah, and so people are Zig fans out there. I'm sure you're going to know, and we'll touch on Zig a little bit later in our podcast. But what we want to do is thank you again for downloading our podcast, Real Inside Sales Talk. You can find it on Facebook.com at Real Inside Sales Talk.
Absolutely, and I've been trying to post daily. Jason's been posting a lot daily. I talk about old sales jobs I've had, good rebuttals, good techniques for them.
Yep.
I try to not do just real estate, but selling hotel rooms, selling cars, selling phone service, selling timeshare and timeshare and vacation packages on your phone.
Right.
Customer service skills, winning the battle. Using the scripts. I've got a big black book of scripts here from.
You should see it.
What's
folks.
called Strategic, and had me on like the NRA campaign, the National Rifle Association. They had me on the Republican campaign. So I'm like imitating all these Republican senators and people that pay for us to call and do scripts and collect money.
Right.
And then what was it? Save the Kids. These
Save the Kids, yeah.
Like you love the children, right?
Right.
So go ahead and donate $5. And yeah, that's a good cause to do it. But they say be pathetic, receive empathetic.
Receive empathy, be empathetic.
Well, on theirs is you want to act pathetic as possible.
Oh, you want to act pathetic. Okay,
you're raising
I'm
money for children. Like, these kids have nothing, man.
Oh, yeah, they're just...
Nothing. They're just, digging in the dirt.
They all have tuberculosis and all dirty, ragged clothing.
Just, how about $1? Give me something.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. Get off the phone.
Okay. So you work for an organization that helped those types of kids?
Very briefly,
Really? Well, don't say it. Tell me about that, though.
Well, I worked there after I found out I was having my first kid while I was working another telemarketing job.
Okay.
I was yet again doing 8 hours of inbound by day and 4 hours of outbound by night. and like 6 hours of outbound on the weekends.
Okay.
And like my days would blend together, and I don't know how I did it, but here I am.
Yeah, here you are. Now, you had a good little thought earlier, and I want to let people out there know this because Mark made a good point. We enjoy doing this podcast. We enjoy helping people. We enjoy coaching, and when you combine your work with your goals that you want to accomplish in life, it's not actually work because Mark's already put in a full day. I've put in a full day. We've come and, we're, taking our time that, normally we might want to do something else, but we realize we love doing this. We want to help, we want to build on this, and we want to help people with this. And that's what you can find out too when you start doing something that you're passionate about and find a way to make money at it. Because in the last episode, or episode before last, we also mentioned that if you have sales skills, you'll always have a job. Because then you'll be able to see where you can make money at something. And if you have a few good ideas, thoughts, if you've, say, practiced, role played, before you go in to make that raise or possibly make that new pitch, that's going to help you in that negotiation be able to close that deal. And what we want to talk about today, Mark, I know you're excited, jumping at the bit here, and I'm trying to keep him contained, folks, because yeah, he says he's got a big black book of scripts, but
I've actually got two, and then like 5 more over there.
You wouldn't know one of those.
I've got 13 years of telemarketing data.
Well, there's like a U-Haul box truck backed up to the studio here with all the scripts in it that he's got available. So Mark's going to share a few insights, a few scripts that work with him. And now a lot of this, Mark's got a broad background. Some of it might be specific to an industry, but generally overall, what you can take from scripts is a couple of fundamental things. One, scripts you to be able to do things reflexively, instinctually, like we were talking about, being able to think on your feet, being able to talk to somebody without a awkward pause, if you will, and being able to not stammer or stutter inside of what you're trying to get across, and when you're trying to articulate to your customer the benefits of purchasing what you have to offer. And that's one of the things is a lot of people, when they do scripts, they do make a lot of those kind of common conversation mistakes. And they'll use words like and everybody's certainly guilty of this. It's the age. The one thing that gets me, especially when people are working face to face, is people that don't have any manners.
Absolutely.
You can't flail around your arms. You can't, curse a lot. I mean, you can't sit there and touch them inappropriately, whether it's a guy or a girl. Don't look crazy.
Don't swear.
I mean, a handshake even nowadays sometimes in some places is just not a fashionable thing to do.
Yeah, the old-fashioned fist bump or the head bump. What's up, bro?
Yeah, the head bump. Yeah.
The boom.
I used to do the head bump all the time with all my clients. Just right there in the forehead, man.
Remember the late 90s, it was sup.
Sup. Yeah.
Sup.
Yeah.
You go into an AOL chat room?
Yeah.
Sup.
That's how my college was spent. Everybody walked by each other. Sup. So,
your head was sup.
Sup, man. So, folks, so we're going to do some Mark's going to tell us about some scripts here. So, Mark, tell us, how are scripts, how do you use scripts in your day-to-day job?
To control the people that you talk to do what you want them to do.
Okay. Now, do you have like a go-to set of scripts that you use? Have they become just ingrained? You have them in front of you? How do you utilize your scripts the best?
I'm going to talk about a lot of different areas really quickly. In real estate, I have 6 pages of scripts in front of me for different scenarios at all times. Some things are a little bit more complicated to talk about, and if you have a good idea on what you're talking about while you're waiting for a customer to get through what they're saying, they might want to tangent for 1 or 2 minutes, and that's your time to be like, okay, let's flip through my script, let's see what I'm going to do, let's play my attack, see how I can do this.
Right.
Can I help this person, sell this person, or wasting my time and I need to get to the next customer that's a hold.
So you've got a script for, say, the very first time you talk to somebody that let's say you're doing your circle prospecting. So let's say you're calling me on the phone. You see my house. It's in a neighborhood that has a lot of turnover. There's a lot of demand for, and I'm just kicking back in my pajamas. And so you hit me with your script, Mark.
Hey, Jason.
Yay! What's happening?
Hey, this is Mark over at Blank Real Estate. I was giving you a quick call to see if you still own ABC 123 Street.
Well, Blank Real Estate. I'm not on ABC Street, man. I live on 123 Fig Street.
I'm sorry. I can't trust these kids to do anything.
I know. I'm messing with you, man. No, yes, I do.
Well, it's 421. So, hey, Jason.
Yeah, Mark, go ahead, please.
All seriousness, I'm not going to waste your time.
Please don't.
I work for a real estate brokerage, and we have a lot of people shopping for homes in the area. Not a lot of inventory available. Just out of curiosity, have you thought about selling your house while the market is hot?
Well, I've seen a lot of houses sold in our neighborhood, and it's kind of got me wondering: are they getting a fair price out of their houses? I mean, how are they selling?
Better than fair price.
Better than fair.
Typically, and you are looking at a seller's market. As interest rates rise, listing prices will fall. So, if you're sick of dealing with dumb neighbors and you want to get a change of scenery, really within the next 6 months is when you need to plan on it.
Sure. Okay. So is this? I mean, how quick do you sell these houses? I mean, I've seen a few go pretty quickly in our neighborhood. What about mine? Mine's a little older than most of them.
Yeah, I looked at some information prior to calling you. I didn't want to call you completely out of the blue.
Sure.
The average days on market is less than 58 days.
Excellent.
Really, what the buyer is looking for is just condition, location, and price. So as long as you have those three things, you're going to sell relatively quickly.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you this, Jason. If I brought you a full price offer today, where would you go and how long would it take you to get there?
Well, I mean, I'm getting up there, and the wife and I thought of heading to maybe Arizona or something like that, or maybe scaling down a little bit. I mean, and what do you mean by fair offer? What do you mean a fair offer? What do you think my house is worth?
Well, I don't have any updated information. I don't have any information on if you remodeled within the last couple of years or not. What's the condition of the house looking like? I see it was back in 2002.
Yeah. Well, it's in pretty good shape. We take care of it. I mean, we only had one bed. We had a storm a couple of years ago and blew off some of the roof, and so we had the roof repaired. But everything in here is modern. We've got new appliances. We've got carpet. We've got some nice floors we've just redone. It's in good shape. It's sturdy shape.
Okay, well that sounds great, Jason. Well, here's my value proposition to you, or what they call my elevator pitch. I have a partner who's an appraiser and licensed realtor. He also owns the company.
Right.
I could have him run a market report on the house, bring it out to you, see if the numbers match up, and see if you want to sell.
Right.
If you do, great. If not, hey, at least we can part as friends, and you have some really good information on what your house is worth.
Well, what's it going to cost me?
Nothing. It's a community service. We do it for free.
You do it for free?
Yeah.
Really? You'll tell me how much my house is worth, an appraiser.
Well,
is it a real appraisal?
It's not.
Okay.
It's a free estimate on the house. He's not going to crawl under the house or go through the attic, measure and stuff with the laser.
Okay.
He's going to look at the house, look at everything you've done to it, pull some comps of some similar homes with similar bedding or bedrooms, square footage, bathrooms, property square footage.
So he's just going to come and look at it and then just kind of shoot me a price.
Well, not exactly. It's a little bit more complicated than that. We actually have to compare it with other houses that have sold recently.
Okay.
If it's something that we feel like we can't sell quickly,
right,
we'll just tell you because we don't want to waste our time on it.
Okay. Well, no, that sounds pretty reasonable, Mark. I've just really been curious about what our house is worth and what we could maybe get.
Great. So, I could have him pop by at maybe noon or 5 o'clock tomorrow if that's better.
Noon works for me.
Okay.
Noon's good. Noon's good. Do I need my wife here?
Well, it'd probably be a good idea if you're thinking about selling a house, don't you think?
Well, yeah, she'd be interested in knowing. She kind of pulls the strings around here a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Well, is noon good, or is maybe 7:30 better?
No, noon's good. We'll both be here for dinner, so just.
Okay. Well, hey,
so
let me ask you this: is there any information that you're looking for ahead of time that we can bring and just knock it out right then and there? Like any questions that you have for me right now that we can just make sure we get answered first thing.
Well, are you wanting to try to list my house to sell it?
Only if you want to sell it.
Okay.
If you don't want to sell it, that's totally cool. We get it. That's why we're not charging you to do this.
Right.
But whenever the time does come to sell, you know what your house is worth, and you know how aggressive we are when it comes to getting stuff done, because we're proactively prospecting and looking for sellers for the buyers that we have walking into our office on a daily basis, or emailing us, or people that we even find cold calling.
Okay. Well, I just need to, something with wife and I just kind of talked about a little bit. We're not serious, but if he wants to come by and shoot us a price tomorrow, we'd be happy to hear him out.
That's fair enough. Let me ask you this. If everything sounds good, looks good, and you could realistically find another place to go into within the next 90 days. Let's say you start looking at houses online, saying, okay, our house is probably going to sell for this much. We could probably go look at this house. Do you think you'd probably end up listing the house?
Well, that's a tough question. I mean, I can't say yes or no yet. I mean, I know it.
I don't blame you. You know,
I want to know what my house is worth.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about just an average product here. We're talking about a house. Moving is a big deal.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it takes you 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 months to get this done, we understand because we help 100 people that are in the same exact situation just as you are right now.
Okay.
You know, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it's not. It's just business.
Okay. Yeah, just tell him to come on by tomorrow.
All right, cool, man. We'll see you at noon.
All right, Mark. Good to talk to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for talking with me, and you have a good day.
Thank you. So I know I was pretty, you know, I mean, I wasn't really a stubborn buyer necessarily there. Just kind of old and wanting to move, maybe.
And that's why I dropped certain things. Like I wanted to ask trigger questions.
Sure.
If he's BSing me, you know, I asked him all the right questions that quality assurance is going to say. Did he ask this question? Yes.
Right.
So that way, when I go to get credit for my appointment, we can say, hey, the appointment met all of the expectations that the listing agent asked for.
And that's the thing. And you didn't lie to him about wanting to sell and list his home. I mean, this guy certainly sounded like, the way I was playing it was kind of like a nurturer. I mean, he'd be a nurture guy. The next guy I'll play, I'll be more of a hard ass and tell you no. Ooh, Mark, here's what we have to do.
Oh.
Okay. What we're gonna do, just for our special secret group listeners out there, here's one thing is at Real Inside Sales Talk, you have the opportunity to become a supporting listener, a subscriber at $5 a month. Get you access to our secret Real Inside Sales Talk Facebook group. And one thing that you get in there that you don't get anywhere else is to hear some of the calls that Mark gets to have fun with. I mean, we were listening to one just a little bit earlier, and it lets you know, one, the kind of people you're going to have to deal with out there, how to handle. We talk about how to handle these objections and some of these people who are irate or screaming or, you know, it doesn't matter the situation. You're going to hear them. But for $5 a month, you get access not only in our secret Facebook group, you subscribe to us for a year. You get a half an hour of one-on-one coaching one time with Mark and myself over Skype. You subscribe at $10 a month for a year, and you get an hour of coaching one-on-one with Mark and myself. We're here to help you accomplish your goals. We're here to help you refine your schedule. We're here to talk to you about the things that are working, the things that are not working. What we're going to do is work with you to define, are you using a calendar? What sort of tools are you using? Are you scripting? Are you role-playing? Have you identified your market? Are you selling to the right market? We work with a lot of online marketers, and sometimes online marketers get frustrated because they haven't identified really the market that they need to go after. That's what we offer to you in our secret Facebook group, Real ISA Talk, Real Inside Sales Agent Talk. Both Mark and myself have 30 years combined experience or more of real on-the-ground actual approach to sales and getting you to be able to close more deals per month. I mean, what would it mean to you to be able to close 3 more deals a month?
That'd be a lot of money for me, Jason.
Would that be $5 a month? Would it be worth $5 a month? Would it be worth $10 a month?
That's an extra vacation.
Well, if you close 3 extra deals a month, what would that do to your bottom line? Would that get you the new car, new house? Would it get you, the new suit that you've been wanting to buy? Would it get you to, okay, you go to the spa every day instead of every other day?
Would it help you make up for a day you called in sick?
Yes, exactly.
Again, it's, not everyone's selling like big ticket items here, but like when I sold hotel rooms, you can make anywhere between $7 and $10 a hotel room, and depending on how much revenue per hour you managed.
Right.
So you'd want to sell anywhere between 30 and 60 hotel rooms a day.
Exactly.
And you're talking to 100 customers a day. So you have to have half of your people sold.
Exactly.
You have to have a certain revenue per hour.
Right.
If people are wasting your time over a $30 room in Vegas, let them go.
Right.
Credit cards are declining, let them go.
Let them go.
The next guy
Don't waste your time.
The next call could be a $5,000 or $25,000 reservation.
And that's what scripts do for you, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, like for example,
scripts get you to the point. They cut it right in there like a knife, man.
Exactly, and ours was simple, and we fought with our QA department to get the sales department to win on this. And when I was at Hotels.com, it was, thanks for calling Hotels.com. Did you have any questions, or were you ready to reserve?
Right. Are you ready to reserve now?
And
are you ready to go now?
Right, and they always made us ask, okay, any additional questions?
Exactly. I had a client today, and we were doing a job for this guy, okay? And I was talking to him afterwards, and he was frustrated with the way it's a floor. He was frustrated with the way his floor looked. It's only one part of this, it's the tile. It's not going to shine. It's a dull sort of tile. I said, secondly, what you need is once a month buffing and mopping for our company to come in here and take care of this for you. He instantly signed up. I mean, the guy's whole pain was making sure those floors had like a shine to them. And it was almost an impossibility because the tile is of such a texture that it doesn't really convey a shine, no matter how much, whatever you do to him. But he just wanted the concept. He wanted the idea of it. And he was willing to do whatever just for the fact to be able to get what he thought was, the way it should
Make his product in the best condition possible.
Well, I told him, I said, it's going to look good for a couple of days, but then after about 3 or 4 days of people walking on it, I said, it's going to be dull again. I said, that's why you need to just come in here at least once a month. He'll probably end up having us come in there like every other week or every week.
Hey, that's great.
Exactly. That's better for our bottom line,
Any
man.
additional questions? What other facts? For us, the reason that we said any questions and then any additional questions was a lot of people would say, what's your cancellation policy?
Right.
So that way, right up front, we can acknowledge the biggest objection that we get over time.
Right.
So refundable, non-refundable, do you want it, do you not want it?
Now, to continue with the scripts, Mark, have you always used scripts at all the jobs you've been at?
Every telemarketing job I've ever been in, I've used scripts.
Use scripts, okay. And
either self-created or trained.
Or trained on the script. So you were at Expedia for a while.
3.5 years.
3.5 years. They had a basic inbound script that you would use.
The Guest Connect process, and it worked for some people, but we salesmen found a way to cut the average handle time in half.
Okay.
Still pass quality assessment scores and double our money.
Well, that's the thing is, how much of the scripts do you get? How much of it's like fluff? I mean, what do you do? How much of it do you cut out to make it your own? Does it depend on the script, or are there some scripts that, okay, yeah, half of this just isn't going to work? Or are you going to transition? I mean, how do you do that? How do you make a script your own?
Okay, well,
tell me that.
I will get to that, but there's 2, maybe 3 answers to your question. So it also
least,
it depends. Yeah, it depends on what you're selling. So as far as fluff goes, let's say I'm calling you
sales warrior, poet, philosopher.
Let's say I'm working my telemarketing job after high school selling vacation packages. I call you up. I say, Jason, I'm going to sell you a 4-day, 3-night package to Branson with 4 show tickets. You get a continental breakfast every morning, and it's $109 at a 2-star hotel. Well, the only catch is that you have to take a minimal 90-minute timeshare presentation.
Dude, I live in Branson.
Okay, well, do you have a mother-in-law that comes and visits?
No, I have nobody. I have no one. I'm alone, Mark.
So the biggest objection when selling timeshare stuff like that over the phone and hotel packages was the presentation.
Okay.
You could say, obviously, just go there, act like an asshole, don't want to buy anything, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Maybe you'll get out in 15 minutes. Bring the baby with you, have her make a little bit of noise.
Yeah, bring the baby. That's a good idea. Well, but you had your scripts.
Yeah,
and then you had them nailed down to everybody.
And then in Expedia, it was just any other questions. And Expedia, it was different.
Okay.
It wasn't how good of a salesman you were.
Right.
It was how many sales you could make at one time or one setting.
Really?
So, for example, if I walked in at 4 o'clock, by 6 o'clock, which is my first break, I had to have a minimal of 10 sales.
Holy cow.
At lunch, I wanted...
Well, those are inbound, though. Exactly. I mean, you're getting a high volume of inbound,
and again,
right?
Yeah, and you got to close 50% of your customers, sometimes even 60% of your customers if everyone else is really competitive.
So let's hear your, Expedia voice. I call in, ring, ring.
Hotels.com, this is Mark. How can I help you?
Mark, this is Larry, and I'm calling about a hotel reservation.
Great. Did you have some questions, or were you ready to reserve?
Well, I need to reserve it.
Okay. And what's the city and the state that we're looking at?
Well, hang on a second. Let me get the paper here.
Okay. No problem, man. Then I just twiddle my thumbs. And then
so what would happen in that instance?
If it's after 30 seconds or a minute, and I know that my average handle time is going to go into my shift bid,
right.
Because my shift bid for my day, if I want to go,
put them on hold.
Well, hang on.
Okay.
Every salesman, every quarter has a shift bid to go to night shift, day shift,
right.
morning shift, whatever they want.
Right.
And it's all based off your stats.
Ooh.
How much you're closing, your
right.
revenue per hour, your average hold time,
right.
or average handle time.
Right.
So some people, they'd just be slow, but then they might book $1,000 room, or they
that's
book
it too.
They say I saw this $39.99 room and I've got a coupon for $10.
Oh,
so it's like, okay, do I really waste 10 minutes booking this $29 hotel room,
right?
Or should I sacrifice this make my conversion rate go down, and hope that my next call is going to have a $500 booking, which is a quicker call,
right,
and raises my average booking value, which gets me in the next tier for a commission.
So there you go.
So you're literally playing slots machines.
Okay, so
I was good at it.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, and that's you're going to learn some hacks about some jobs that you can do to get some time off that, because that would be a killer, especially if you got somebody that just didn't have their information in front of them. Slow talking and then low volume.
Yeah, and in tech support, having to make an offer in every call. Me, I had no problem with it, but every other tech support person there was hired to do a tech support customer service job.
Customer service, yeah. Oh my God.
It's like, dude, offering a guy a Windows recovery disk is not a sales. Come on.
So where do you get some of your scripts? Are there some people that our listeners out there might be familiar with? They can, maybe take a look at some of the resources you draw on. That way they can up their script game and their...
As far as timeshare and vacation packages over the phone, I give my credit to a guy named Michael Garris.
Okay.
He was a big inspiration for me, and kind of a madman, but he was great. And
the good ones are.
Yeah, and then as far as Teletech, that's when I turned 21, and as I mentioned in the previous podcast, that's really when I started learning how to listen. I almost actually failed training because I wasn't listening and following the process correctly on their logic foes on how to fix stuff.
Right.
Like, I was very technical and I knew a lot about computers, but I just tell them how to fix it without doing the steps that they wanted done.
Right.
And once I realized I had to follow the process, I got my shit together.
Yeah.
So basically, the trainer's there. And Expedia, there was a guy named Frank, really good salesman, really good at painting pictures. Odd guy.
Tell us again, though, and we're going to shift...
Guest Connect process with him.
Okay, we're going to shift gears here real quick.
No, I was going to give real estate.
Well, okay, give your real estate, Mark.
Colton Lindsay, Derek Lipsky, Kevin Ward, myself, a little bit of Adam Bailey.
And you mentioned one of
David Johnson.
Yeah, he's a good one.
A few other employers.
Well, and you got the Ferry brothers.
Tom Ferry.
Yeah, Ferry.
The Fearless Agent, Bob Leffler. He's
Fearless Agent's
got
good.
some good stuff.
Fearless Agent's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, just a whole bunch of stuff that I've just pulled out of my ass that I've found that it's worked that other people haven't discovered yet. Like, I have 6 pages of scripts for real estate that I would sell these scripts for probably $200 a script. Because that's how important they are to me, and that's how different they are than everyone else.
But the good thing is, though, you become a supporting listener.
Supporting listener.
And what do you get access to?
Script masters.
Script. Exactly. Scripting. Mark or I would go through a script with you. You become a supporting listener for anywhere from $5 to $10 to $25 a month. You're going to get some one-on-one interaction with us to help you achieve those goals. Find the right scripts that work for you.
Find a way to go over those objections that you hate hearing.
Well, and it may not just be your script. It may be your body language. It may be the way you're presenting. I mean, there are 100 different things that can go wrong with your presentation, and you won't get the deal. You won't close the deal. You won't ask the right questions.
If you were to take a picture of yourself or record yourself doing a sale and then watch it.
Oh, do that.
Do that. For me, one of the biggest tips, I learned how to do vacation sales over the phone. And I get cussed out so bad.
Did you really?
It was bad.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Mark,
true story. No, true story.
Tell me.
So when Hurricane Katrina was happening, I literally called someone in the Superdome. I called him up for a 3-day, 2-night package to Branson.
Okay.
She goes, the roof just came off of the Superdome.
Holy moly.
You know what I said?
What'd you say?
I was a smart-ass teenager. I said, well, it sounds like you need to come to Branson, Missouri.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Play on that pain, man. Play on the pain.
It was bad. And then she
I'm sure.
Or lost signal or something worse.
Something worse happened to her.
Yeah, I can't believe how many divorces I probably caused, though, by selling products. Like, this is so good. She's going to... I mean, what do you think she's going to say about it? Or don't you think the kids are going to enjoy it? Like... I can't.
You know, one of the most effective.
I hope I don't find out that stat.
You want to know one of the most effective timeshare hooks. I mean, and this is dynamite, man. You play this the wrong way, it's going to explode in your face.
Oh.
But you say to the couple, do you realize, Mr. and Mrs. Mark, that 70% of all marriages end in divorce? And do you know why?
Why?
Lack of trust. This is one spouse doesn't trust the other spouse.
And they look at each other.
They look at each other, and they're like, "Okay," and that's dirty pool kind of. I mean, I would never necessarily play it. But if you've got a bickering couple, Because then you get one stubborn who's, by God, we're going to buy this thing. You know, you
Screw
just don't.
this guy.
Yeah, you just don't trust me. Oh yeah, isn't that a great one? That's
You know, the kids are going to love this. We're going to come here every year and have such a good time in Branson, Missouri.
Oh yeah. Well, or anywhere. I mean, so
Did another show just shut down?
So we want to be successful. That's what we encourage people out there to be successful. That's what
we love
happens.
Branson.
That's what happens when you become a subscriber and be part of our secret Facebook group. Subscribe to our mailing list. Subscribe to our Real Inside Sales Talk podcast on iTunes and Stitcher. One thing, we're going to shift gears a little bit here, Mark. And one thing I wanted to talk about. Ooh. I know. Is the last year's been pretty successful one for me personally.
Good.
And what I want to do is I want to go over a few keys. We've learned these from some famous people.
Okay.
I mean, like, you know, any famous person, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates. I mean, they're all going to essentially tell you these, you know, these principles. But one of the keys to success, Mark, and this is why you and I hang out.
Oh yeah.
Is you've got to have good people around you.
Yeah.
Do you disagree or agree?
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know, if Jason and I didn't get along, we wouldn't be hanging out with each other.
No, we obviously wouldn't. So you want to shed those toxic people from your life. You want to shed anybody who just is negative. Yeah.
Just like Mary Kay.
Just like Mary Kay.
Yep.
Just like any successful person, because if you're driven and you're ambitious and you want to succeed at something, anybody who's going to support you is going to allow you the freedom to be able to do that. They're not going to stand in your way. They're not going to be selfish. Say, well, why are you spending time, you know, working on this thing that gives us all this money, and why don't you spend more time with me?
Oh, you know what? Guess what my wife did for me?
What did your wife do for you?
She made us T-shirts.
I know. I'm glad you said that, because I was about to say we've got some sporting new T-shirts. We're going to release a teaser of this.
Oh.
Just a teaser, what they look like. But you can get your own Real Inside Sales Talk. Sign up for our secret Facebook group. Real Inside Sales Talk in Facebook. We have a Real ISA Talk Facebook group there.
$15 T-shirts. We can do it in gray, black, or white. You just let us know what you want.
What your size is, and you will be looking stylish, man. Plus, people know you are on the inside, that you're getting the real information. You wear one of these shirts into the next time you want to raise, the boss is just going to immediately give it to you, because he's going to see the shirt first, and he's going to know he's dead.
Yeah, this is the new ABC shirt. You know, there was always that guy that walked into a telemarketing center like, yeah, I'll always be closing. I know what I'm doing. You know, Wolf of Wall Street. Yes. And then he like quits like a week later because he can't sell shit.
Exactly.
Well, when you have one of these real... Damn, these shirts are sexy. Inside Sales Talk shirts. Man.
Oh, yeah, ladies.
My wife did a good job on these. Shout out to you, Katie.
Yeah, Katie. Good
you have
job.
one of these shirts, not only are you going to look good, but you're going to feel good. You know, also, you're going to have some powerful scripts to go with the shirt.
Yes. Plus, you will be you'll be top shelf. You'll be a notch above everybody else, because they're not going to have it.
Make your manager look like nothing.
Well, and you're going to be the top dog of the sales line, too, man. You have one of these on, you're going to be motivated. You're going to be pumped up each day. And that's the other thing is here's the other critical key.
Ladies, we have them in pink.
Here's the other thing is learn from your mistakes.
Oh, yeah. Be okay with increasing your failure rate.
Now, Mark, this has been like the number one thing for me over the last couple of years is learning from mistakes. I've implemented, I've always learned from mistakes, but really being able to learn and apply what you learn from those mistakes. Folks, be able to self-evaluate, to be able to go through your checklist and say, hey, was I this good at this? Was I better at this? Instead of wishing it was different, wish you were better. The other one we want to talk about is be frugal. Spend less than you make. I mean, that's tip number one to creating wealth for yourself is spend less than you make. You know, we got kids. We live in a consumption culture. But the more you can sacrifice, the more you can think, hey, long term, I want to be able to kick back as soon as I possibly can on that island, you know, in the cabana with a pina colada and not having to do anything other than check my bank account, then you need to sacrifice some things in the short term.
And I got to add on that because there's a flip side to that too.
Yeah, tell us, Mark.
And I used to be so frugal. I married a woman that turned me opposite. Engaged. We've been together over 8 years. But
let me interject real quick. Rockefeller, you know what his secret of success was?
John Rockefeller's secret of success.
And he never told his wife how much money he made. Anyway,
it's on my wife's phone.
Back to
one of those. I saw how much your checks are. Yeah. Well, like I said, we're trying to buy a puppy and pay off some stuff. But
sure. Well, you got to enjoy yourself, man.
Yeah. So
fun life. Fun.
So let me tell you something. Like whenever I get in really deep ruts, like every job I'm ever in sales, I've always hit a rut where I'm just burnt out. I can't take it anymore. And then there's times I get revigorated and I'm just all over the place kicking ass.
Right.
And what I've noticed by doing the Real Inside Sales Talk is I'm happier. I'm actually doing something that is productive. And my fiance sees how much importance it is to me.
Well, she's the happiness, the contentment. You're not stressed. You're actually, oh wow, I'm actually doing something here that's for myself.
Right, but when it comes to the financial stuff, it's like, okay, you know what? If I could put $5,000 towards my hobby, what would that do for my hobby?
Exactly. What would it do for your life? What would it do for everything?
Is it worth paying it off over 5 years, or is it worth like maybe doubling my chances and hitting a gold mine here?
Right, and then putting forth some effort to get that return in the short term.
Putting in a little bit of risk to get ahead, and also it helps me stay motivated. When I wake up in the morning and I have to start calling for sale by owners who hate real estate agents.
Yeah.
It's just one of those extra reasons
the
to
recording of what you played today. That was hilarious.
Oh, and look for that. We'll
that's coming up, folks. Yeah. Join our secret Facebook group. You'll find out.
But yeah.
So you have to be, you also, and this comes to where you're just talking about, a great segue, you have to be firm. Not only firm with other people, but firm with yourself. And say, look, I've got to sacrifice this time because I want to be able to do, even if it's 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, do something that's going to help improve your station in life and help you get those dreams that you want, because we all have them. And the one thing, I'm not going to end on a downer, but I'm just going to throw this out there. The worst sort of visitor you ever want to have come and see you later in life is regret. You don't want to regret anything.
Absolutely.
So you've got to think big. Think big, people. Think of the things that you can accomplish. Think of the possibility. You see somebody out there who's done it, you can do it too.
Absolutely. And I got to touch on that before we end. If you could imagine yourself as a 90-year-old person, man or woman.
Right.
And then imagine yourself right now.
I'm doing it.
Close your eyes.
Okay.
The 90-year-old person of you is sitting on a park bench.
Okay.
The person you are now, the age you are now, walks up to that person on a park bench.
Okay. What
is the conversation you're going to have? How is that going to affect you? And how are you going to change from that conversation?
Exactly. Imagine your future self.
Take 15 minutes and just literally say, okay, I'm 90 years old. I wish I would have done this, and this. Mm-hmm. And don't let that happen anymore.
That's where you want to set goals every day.
Stop being afraid.
Exactly. Every day, set a goal. Do something different. Get out of your comfort zone. Get up in the morning, stretch real quick, get the coffee going, get the kids off to work, go accomplish something, listen to something motivational in the morning. Not only real inside sales talk, but find some motivating things that motivate you. It doesn't have to be sales talk, be music. It can be a TV show. It could be something that you can listen to, a book. You can kind of escape from reality before you jump into reality. Motivate yourself every morning. So, Mark, tell us, we're at episode 4.
Episode 4, Real ISA Talk on Tech.
Let me let people know the trivia question for today.
Oh my gosh, Zig Ziglar's real name.
Okay, has anybody figured it out yet? If you
let me check the Facebook live feed here.
Yeah, let's check that out. If anybody maybe has a
wrong.
Okay.
No, that's someone put Arnold Schwarzenegger. The answer is Hillary.
Hillary Hinton.
Hillary Hinton is Zig Ziglar's real name.
Which is bizarre that it sounds so much like Hillary Clinton, and it just, when I saw that, I was like, no wonder he went by Zig. I mean, I'm not bashing her personally, but Hillary, the names they had back in the days, because I've known people, guys named like Blue Bonnet, and just stuff like this, bizarre names.
I see so many bizarre names from these internet leads that come in.
Well, there you go. You see them there too, like Zambar, and the Greek names were always cool though, because then you had like Theodopoulos, and tell you folks is, again, check out our page on Facebook, Real ISA Talk on Facebook. For, again, our supporting listeners, our subscribers, $5 a month, you get a half an hour one-on-one coaching one time over Skype with Mark and myself. For $10 a month, you sign up for a year, you get a 1 hour coaching call with Mark and myself one time. Secondly, like and share our page on Facebook. You're going to see us on Twitter at realisatalk.com on Twitter. Also, folks out there, keep an eye out for pages because we're always going to be encouraging you to start your own business, build your own business, build that side income because you never know. If you're going to work for somebody, you're at the mercy of that business, and you never know when it could fail. So what you want to do is have a side hustle going. We've got abilities for people to start generating online income.
Wow.
We've got instruction on how to become an affiliate marketer.
Really?
Oh, we do. You didn't know that, Mark?
No, that's...
Oh, I know. Mark missed the meeting. We had a meeting today at like 2 o'clock, and Mark, what was he doing? Mark was lead generating, I think.
No, I was going back and forth.
Mark was, Mark was setting appointments.
I did. I called this guy. I called
Mark was actually making money.
I really was. I called this lady. I was the 5th call in 30 minutes. She had a house for $330,000. She's like, "Oh, y'all just calling me to list my house?" I'm like,
Right.
"Yeah, all these people are desperate, aren't they?"
Aren't they? Yeah.
And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's a lot
Catch
of
her off guard.
part-timers."
Good job.
Yeah. The next thing I know, I'm cracking jokes, and she's like hysterical, and I'm like, "Okay, we'll see you at 4 on Saturday." She's just like, "Okay, see you at 4."
Yes, we'll be styling on our new shirts. We're going to throw a post of that up.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not already up by the time you hear this episode. So I want to leave you with a motivational quote here. Is motivation gets you started, habit keeps you going. Remember that. Motivation gets you started, habit keeps you going. Remember when you're sitting around and you get excited into a frenzy about a new idea?
Uh-huh.
Sounds good for a little while, but then, okay, you sleep once. That idea are you still motivated by that idea the next morning? You work on that idea, it becomes a habit.
Yeah, and I can relate to that. Even doing our project here, if I wasn't happy doing it or having fun doing it, I wouldn't be doing it. You asked me. You asked me before if I could be doing anything, what would I be doing?
Right.
This is it right now. I love talking about sales and experiences and
Exactly.
learning about new ways to sell. Because if I don't know how to sell something, I want to learn how to do it.
Exactly. This is Jason.
This is Mark.
You guys, I hope you had a great week this week. Hit all those goals. Enjoy yourself this weekend. Keep pressing at it. And we will see you again soon. Mark, parting words.
Thank you for coming to a Real Inside Sales Talk, episode 4. It really means a lot to Jason and I that you listen to the show, comment, subscribe, tell us what you like, what you don't like, how we can improve, tell us what you want to hear that we haven't covered yet. And if you need anything, direct messages are available pretty much 24/7. Jason's a night guy. I'm a early morning and day guy, so one of us is always available. And thank you so much again for listening, and you have a good night.
All right. Have a great night, people. Thank you for listening.
Bye.